Each of us has heard more than once that space is something beyond our planet, it is the universe. In general, space is a space that extends infinitely in all directions, including galaxies and stars, black holes and planets, cosmic dust, and other objects. It is believed that there are other planets or even whole galaxies that are also inhabited by intelligent humans. A little bit of history. The middle of the 20th century was remembered by many in the space race, from which the winner was the USSR. In 1957, the first artificial satellite was created and launched, and a little later in space, and visited the first living creature. 2 years later, an artificial satellite of the Sun went into orbit, and the station called Luna 2 was able to reach the surface of the Moon. The legendary Belka and Strelka did not go into space until 1960, and a year later, humans went into space. The year 1962 was remembered for the group flight, and 1963 the first time a woman was in orbit. Man reached outer space 2 years later. Each of the following years of our history was marked by events related to space exploration. A station of international significance was organized in space only in 1998. This included launching satellites, organizing orbital stations, and numerous flights by people from other countries. What it represents. The scientific point of view states that space is certain areas of the universe that surround celestial bodies and their atmospheres. However, this space cannot be called completely empty. It has been proven to contain some hydrogen and to have interstellar matter. Scientists have also confirmed the existence of electromagnetic radiation within it. Now science does not know the data about the ultimate limits of space. Astrophysicists and radio astronomers claim that the instruments are unable to see the entire cosmos. This is in spite of the fact that their working space covers 15 billion light-years. Scientific hypotheses do not deny the possible existence of universes like ours, but there is no confirmation of this either. In general, the cosmos is a universe, it is a world. It is characterized by orderliness and materialization. The process of exploration. Animals were the first to venture into space. People were afraid, but wanted to explore unknown expanses, so dogs, pigs and monkeys were used as pioneers. Some of them returned, some did not. Now people are actively exploring outer space. It has been proven that weightlessness has a negative effect on human health. It does not allow fluids to move in the right directions, which contributes to the loss of calcium in the body. Also in space, people become somewhat chubby, there are intestinal problems and nasal congestion. In space, almost everyone gets space sickness. Its main symptoms are nausea, dizziness, headache. The consequence of such a disease are problems with hearing. Interesting facts. Space is a space in whose orbits you can watch the sunrise about 16 times a day. This, in turn, negatively affects the biorhythms, preventing normal sleep. It is interesting that mastering the toilet in space is a whole science. Before this action begins to get perfect, all astronauts train on the layout. The technique is practiced over a period of time. Scientists tried to organize a mini toilet directly in the spacesuit, but it did not work out. Instead, they used ordinary diapers. Each astronaut, after returning home, wonders for some time why things fall down. Not many people know why the first foods in space were presented in tubes or briquettes. In fact, ingesting food in outer space is quite a challenge. So the food was pre-dehydrated to make the process more accessible. Interestingly, people who snore do not encounter this process in space. It is still difficult to give an exact explanation for this fact. Death in space. Women who have had their breasts artificially augmented will never be able to experience space. The explanation is simple: the implants can explode. Unfortunately, the same fate can befall any man's lungs if he goes into space without a spacesuit. This will happen due to decompression. The mucous membranes of the mouth, nose, and eyes would simply boil over. Cosmos in ancient philosophy. Cosmos is a certain structural concept in philosophy that is used to refer to the world as a whole. Heraclitus applied the definition as a worldview more than 500 years ago BC. This was also supported by the pre-Socratics Parmenides, Democritus, Anaxagoras, and Empedocles. Plato and Aristotle tried to show the cosmos as the ultimate complete being, an innocent being, an aesthetic whole. The perception of outer space was largely based on the mythology of the ancient Greeks. In his work on the sky, Aristotle tries to compare the two concepts, to identify similarities and differences. Plato's dialogue Timaeus traces a fine line between the cosmos itself and its founder. The philosopher argued that the cosmos arose successively from matter and ideas, while the creator put a soul into it and divided it into elements. The result was the cosmos as a living being with a mind. It is one and beautiful and includes the soul and body of the world. Conclusions. We can draw the logical conclusion that the cosmos is that space, which is a unified whole. Philosophical and scientific ideas about it are of the same nature, with the exception of ancient times. The subject of space has always been in demand and enjoyed a healthy curiosity among people. Now the universe conceals many more mysteries and riddles, which you and I have yet to unravel. Each person who finds himself in space discovers something new and unusual for himself and for all mankind, acquaints everyone with his sensations. Cosmic space is a set of different matter or objects. Some of them are closely studied by scientists, while the nature of others is generally incomprehensible.